Loading now, which should be good. Oh man, I've got to get. Yes, it's being live streamed. Yes, that's fine. Crack on with it, and we're good to go. Oh my days! Do you know how painful it is? Painful that I've got all these Liverpool fans in my WhatsApps going, "Oh, you're gonna lose today. You're gonna lose today." I'm like, okay, cool. And then when it goes to 2-1 at half time, I'm just like, this is absolutely incredible. I'm like, this is gonna be one of the biggest games ever. And it was the biggest game ever. I mean, we're live now, which is absolutely fine. So whilst I get all of this set up, the tags and whatnot, Joshua, tell me your initial. Actually, no, no. You know what, Matthew, tell us your initial thoughts because I want to know what it was like from a neutral point of view watching Liverpool versus Manchester United at Old Trafford, and then we'll get to Joshua, and then we'll get to me, which would be good fun indeed. Go ahead.
First of all, it's nice to see the smile on your faces. And big up Joshua, the constant voice notes. Joshua's the king, by the way, of the voice notes, guy. Just let you lot know.
He needs to be a permanent member of the Back of the Net podcast and Friday Night Counter Attack. He needs to be a permanent
I
guy.
need to make my debut, man. I need to make my debut, Matt.
Telling you. Now, you know what? I think as a neutral, it's a fantastic game. I feel like, you know, with United being at Old Trafford, I kind of felt like you were always going to get this type of game. A lot of people before it was talking about Liverpool being strong favourites, but I just think United, when it's backs against the wall, people doubt them. It's a massive game. It was like there was a lot on the line, and you guys know as United fans where certain players pulled it out today, and
do or die for a lot of them.
Ahmad, who I for a long time have said, not even just like one of my good friends, shout out to him, I said, bring on Ahmad, he'll make a big difference. And he was fantastic. You know, he brought what United have needed for a long time. Even the goal he scored, a lot of players would have scuffed that finish, wouldn't have held off the defender. You know, just how industrious he was. He was fantastic. And a lot of your players were good, and you lot hung in there. That was the biggest thing. You hung in there, you know, like even when Liverpool took the lead, Rashford then had that chance at the end where you could have won the game, which I know you guys are probably stressing at that point, but you never gave up. Even when Liverpool went and scored again, you still then got a goal. You got a goal at the right time. So I feel like it was one of them. I don't think fans really lost hope even when you went down by one. You know what I mean? The crowd stuck with you guys and really pushed you lot through. But listen, great game for a neutral. We're probably going to get into it, but I don't get the substitutions. I feel there's a bit of complacency there, you know, to take off Salah and, you know what I mean? You probably look at it and think it's not like you're saving them for a game because I'm sure it's internationals, right? Isn't it now?
Yeah, it is international break. Jurgen Klopp wanted to give him the extra break as well. He wanted it as well.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what are you doing? But yeah, it made no sense. But listen, credits Man United deserved it. I didn't know what their formation was at the end, guys. Do you not know?
Yeah, it was like 2-7-1 or something crazy like that because of the sending off as well.
There's so much crazy. Fire up top taking shots. Like, what's going on here?
McTominay remaining as a backup striker as well, which is crazy to look at it.
No, but you know what? As much as you laugh about certain players, like Anthony, we've got to give him credit. Today was a great finish. No, I didn't expect that.
Shades of Federico Macheda against Aston Villa. That proper turn, right foot.
You know, honestly, yeah, exactly. Gave you know, that type of memory. But yeah, fantastic performance. United deserved it. And look, good draw in the next round. You know, look how Joshua's sitting. He's comfy. Look at him leaning back.
I'm lodged tonight, man. I'm lodged. It's yeah.
I heard you're going to Coventry soon, Joshua. I heard you're going to Coventry soon.
This is it's all about, man. Coventry are decent, man. Seen them a few times.
I heard you're going to pretend to be a Coventry fan so you can get Commentary tickets for the semi-finals for all of us.
I'm out of the country that weekend, so I'm very happy it wasn't Man City because the miss would not have been happy trying to fit that one in. So I'm happy it's there's more reason I'm happy it's Coventry, not Man City or Chelsea, man. But yeah, beaming.
Right then, so we're off on the live stream again, and we're finally recorded because Travis is on, so we've had our little unofficial chat, but here's the official chat, which is going to be good. First of all, never marry a Liverpool fan because your life will be disappointed if you marry a Liverpool fan. Stay away from Liverpool fans in marriage. That's all I've got to say to you as well. Manchester United have beaten Liverpool, and it's the most extraordinary feeling I've had this season as a Manchester United fan. You're looking at some of the players that Liverpool had on the other side, world-class talent. You're looking at Andy Robertson, Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, unreal talent that they had. And they really should have put the game to bed at Old Trafford. They could have dominated us. They should have scored 5 by the end of the game. And I think it's all down to one man's decision. Jurgen Klopp of taking off players before. Matthew said it just before as well. Why are you resting players for the international break? Why are you even starting some of these players against Sparta Prague when you're already like 3-1 up in the tie as well? It made no sense to me. It was really embarrassing to see how Jurgen Klopp wrote off Manchester United in the 70th minute. And it was really insulting to see how Liverpool fans were trying to give it the big in that 70 minutes. Oh, yeah, we're going to win the quadruple. This is where Travis gets to come in and tell us about how fans have been a bit annoying this season as well, even from a Spurs perspective. But Travis, let me bring you into this. How have you found this game against from Manchester United, from Liverpool, from your perspective as well?
Let me tell you, boys, when I was watching that game, you would have thought I was a Man United fan. Honestly, I was so desperate for United to win that game. And I think it was Harvey Elliott, wasn't it, who put them 3-2 up in extra time. And my heart just sunk. I was like, oh, here we go. Okay, here it comes.
Another one.
But
Pop again, just happening.
Yeah, the turnaround was insane.
It's good to see. It's good to see. Right. Matthew, once again, I'm going to ask you a couple questions, but from a Liverpool's perspective.
Yep.
First of all, you're looking at this Liverpool team who have had the media singing their praises since the Carabao Cup final for all these injuries, for all these kids playing as well. You mentioned before as well, was it really the right time for them to be playing some of the kids and for them to be bringing off some of these big players? Because you mentioned it before, but with the international break coming up, I personally don't see it from Klopp's perspective at all. What was the reason why? I think he was just being arrogant, but is there another angle that you think I'm missing? He definitely was being arrogant about it.
He was 100%, man. Nonsense.
Yeah, no, I think he was being arrogant. You know, it's a funny one with Klopp, you know, because before I never really had a problem with him. I thought he was a nice guy, you know, happy-go-lucky. But as time's gone on, there's something about him. I don't want to go too deep into it, but I watched a video today after the game about his reaction to a reporter.
Was it the one where he's fat shaming the reporter?
Yeah.
But some are saying he's not. Some are saying he's not fat shaming him. It was something else. I don't know.
Cringe.
You know
Absolute cringe from Jurgen Klopp.
Awful. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think there's a bit of arrogance about them. And I feel like, you know, since he mentioned that decision about what he's going to do afterwards, I feel like the media, and I'm not going to go too far, but there's some aspects of the media where it's like, oh, Klopp this and Liverpool that. They want this fairy tale. Yeah. So United have kind of put a dent into that. You can, you know what I mean? And the media probably think, oh, great, the darlings now. But yeah, I think there was a bit of arrogance. No need for them subs. It's different if you had a game on Tuesday, Wednesday, you had to rotate. But mate, they don't have one. Like there was no need to do that. I honestly, I was just like, what are you doing? And I'm sure he's gonna have an excuse now. Oh, Salah's just come back, whatever. But maybe he managed it wrong in the who did they play the previous game?
Sparta Prague, or Slavia Prague, I think. One of the two Prague teams.
He didn't need to play them. He didn't need to play him in that one. He didn't need to play Salah or whoever in that one. I think he brought on Van Dijk or something like that as well. There was no no need. You know what I mean? You've got United in FA Cup. You're beating Slavia Sparta Prague 4-0 anyway, or 5-1. Was it? Was it some
it was like 7-1 on aggregate or 7-2 on aggregate.
Yeah, it's like there was no need.
So it was 11. It was 11.
11. That was it. It was 11. He wanted to run it up. He wanted to run it up. You're right.
You know, but like Joshua said, it is arrogance. And you're seeing that a bit with Liverpool. This is why when they lose, I'm one of the fans that are like, good. Like I like seeing it happen because there is a sense. No, but it's true. And we're all seeing it. Forget, put the rivals aside. I'm sure Travis will agree. He's a Spurs fan as well. But I see that with Liverpool. There's just something there where even the little decisions, like they're just moaning. And they are one of the sorest losers in the league. I know Arsenal fans would banter us and whatever, but I don't care. Liverpool fans are worse than us, man.
Nah, it's crazy to see. And you know what, Travis, I'm going to bring you in on this topic as well. It's a very big topic that's been happening because it's the international break. I want to get your thoughts on it. Kobbie Mainoo, what a game he had today. Covered every blade of grass. He covered every blade of grass against Liverpool today. He was unreal. He got subbed off before I thought he should have got subbed off, in my opinion, but we needed to change the game somehow. You're looking at Gareth Southgate. You're looking at big man Gareth, who's actually looking at this team thinking, you know what? I think I need someone who's not playing that well for Ajax, who had a really good time for Liverpool in 2019, but not in 2024 when he didn't really do well in Saudi Arabia. I'm going to stick with Jordan Henderson. When there's a young 18-year-old Manchester United centre midfielder, Kobbie Mainoo, who scored the winning goal against Wolves away at Molineux, who seems to have bossed his way against Alexis McAllister today, in my opinion as well, shut down Liverpool and really brought a lot of flair and swaz to the game as well. You're looking at him and you're thinking, this guy is it. He is it. He's done it in the biggest game of his season so far. But I need to get an outside perspective on this because I don't want Joshua and I to come across as too biased. But can you see a reason as to why Kobbie Mainoo has been omitted from the England national team, Travis?
The only thing I can think is Henderson's got some form of leverage over Southgate. He's got some nudes in his back pocket or something like that. Honestly, the way Mainu played today, it was like that Michael Jordan meme. I think was it from The Last Dance where he's like, and I took that personally, like getting left out of the England squad, picked Henderson over him. He's like, right, I need to show him what I'm about now because that's just not it. But
that's a sick analogy, by the way. Sick analogy used.
Honestly, how can you watch that game today and think, yeah, I'll pick Henderson? It's just. It worries me because we've got this. I know we're getting started, but we've got this.
Travis on flames today. I love it.
And it's going to be wasted by Southgate again in the Euros. I'm just, I don't want to go down that route though because we'll get off track. We need to talk about United, don't we?
It's true as well. And Joshua, I'm going to come to you for this one as well because we're watching the game. We're thinking about how all these changes are made. We spoke about Mason Mount earlier in the week coming into the team, but we are going to talk about Amad Diallo, of course, as well. The fact that Amad Diallo, fourth or fifth game for Manchester United, and again scoring at the last minute, Stretford end against Liverpool, gives me shivers in my spine. Like Anthony Martial scoring on his debut at the Stretford end as well. Unbelievable. I mean, you're looking at that thinking, why the hell have we not been playing him earlier this season as well? And the fact of the matter is, I've been boasting about it in a way on the group chats. He was fasting once again. Amad Diallo was fasting, and he did that. Mohamed Salah got subbed off by Jurgen Klopp. I'm not going to use the same term I did on Matthew's stream. Don't get me wrong. He shouldn't have been subbed off, Mohamed Salah. But Mohamed Salah's fasting. Amad Diallo's fasting, and Amad Diallo literally got a sending off just so he can go and eat something because sunset was coming up in Manchester at the time as well. But let me hear your thoughts on the game, Joshua. Let me hear your thoughts, especially on Amad Diallo, again, from a Man United perspective.
Mental game, man. Best game of the season for us.
Yes.
Because they showed heart, man. They showed heart. Yeah, we won the game, but, when Elliott scored, I felt, you know what? It's special for them because they've got an extra time. They've given us a hope, but we've given ourselves that hope, through Anthony's goal. The second half was so passive, man, so passive. But we saw 2 weeks ago at the Etihad, give ourselves a footing in the game. We capitulate. I know City, Liverpool, the best two in the land outside Arsenal. Those three are top sides. They're better than Man United. That's the truth. Liverpool are a better team than Manchester United. And just touching on that, Jurgen, I was surprised because this is the end of the day. It's Man United away. And football goes in cycles. And Liverpool's dominance will go down. United will go back up and, Liverpool go back up. This is a time to push the sword in, turn the knife. Really go and, I didn't even realise until the game finished. I don't really care what they do. But Jurgen Klopp's not going to Wembley anymore for Liverpool. That's not happening. It's not happening in 2024. It's not happening. It's done. It's done. Glorious. So why? So you have to get to Wembley. You know what I mean? They would have got Coventry. I'm sure they would have, got another final. It'd been a love-in with him and Pep having the last hurrah. Not happening. But I'm happy with the what's it called? The heart from the players. And credit to Ten Hag. I mean, Travis said it in the group chat, bringing all those players. I was fuming. I actually deleted a voice note.
I've never seen Eric Ten Hag smile like that, even after the Carabao Cup final. I've never seen him smile like that after the game as well. That was nice for
since the League Cup as well, because the pressure is on. I think the commentator at the time, Sam Matterface, was like, what's going to be before Anthony's goal, what the pressure's going to be like for him. And I did fear for him because in that second half, it was terrible. It's kind of worse than the 7-0 because you're sitting there thinking, rah, we're bad. Yep. We can't get the ball off them. Like, they never get the ball off them, so they tackle, lose it. But in saying that, I can't remember. I think Nunes broke through. What else did they create? Like, everybody has a lot of joy.
Gakpo missing a chance. Nunes having a chance saved at the near post as well. Yeah. I mean, they just took their foot off the gas, and we said it on the group chat as well. There's a big difference between Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp football. Pep Guardiola will go for the throat every single damn time, whether you're Wycombe Wanderers or Manchester United. He will look to kill that team. Jurgen Klopp wanted to strut around the touchline at Old Trafford going, yeah, this is my farewell season. I'm the big man here, and we're leaving here going to the semi-finals against Coventry. Nah. Anthony had other ideas. Amad Diallo had other ideas. And Marcus Rashford especially had other ideas as well. That was a nice
big up Rashford, man. Big up Rashford because he gets too much disdain, hate from United supporters. Always turns up in the big games. Always turns up. Yes, he has another good season. But listen, everybody's talking about his work because work rate was there today. Yes. His head didn't drop. He missed that in the last minute, got that goal. I'm pleased for him. And, last thing on Jurgen Klopp, he made a comment on Friday, sort of like, since I've been here. And he wasn't lying, but there's no need to say it. But that's just typical Jurgen Klopp in Liverpool. He made this comment about the Man United Liverpool game. He's like, United not been a thing since I've been here. He'll know now tonight that United have been a thing in his career. He'll know exactly what the Man United Liverpool game is about. And Diallo, it's nice that he got the goal. And shout out to Garnacho, man. There's too many players today who played really well. Obviously, Maguire did this to him, but Garnacho, he's played like 27 games in a row now. He's had a hamstring during the week. And the timing for that ball, like Liverpool had a 5-on-2 at one point, and they scuppered it off. You know, no one's talking about that. They had 5 players in 2 at 2-1 to make it 3-1. They easy could have balls that up Ahmed and Garnacho. By the way, when Liverpool won the League Cup, we talked about Liverpool's kids, and rightly so. They came off the bench and they beat a Chelsea side, well and more experience, definitely in terms of appearances, maybe not age. How old's Diallo? 21. How old's Garnacho? 19. How old is Kobe Mainoo? 18.
18.
You know, it's a young, still such a young nucleus of a side for United. Dallow's come in his own this season. Everybody played a part, and that's what makes today special. Yes, we won, but if we lost them penalties, I can say they gave it all. And remember, Liverpool a better side. This is the thing. It's just, I hate saying that. I don't like saying that, but it's the truth. We've all got eyes. We know the table doesn't lie. But today, that's cup football, and there's just too much arrogance. And it's nice, you know, Van Dijk kicking the air and anti-scoring, best defender to ever play the game, apparently.
Apparently. I mean, that was a bold claim as well. And he's conceded like double the amount of goals that Vidic conceded to Fernando Torres as well, compared to Marcus Rashford and Virgil van Dijk. And you're looking at it thinking, like, Virgil van Dijk, I mean, once he couldn't handle Marcus Rashford, even in extra time as well. He couldn't even handle Garnacho when he came into the middle of the park as well. But one final topic on Manchester United and Liverpool before we got into the other games in the FA Cup is the fact that, can you believe Anthony's 2 goals this season? Newport County and Liverpool. You must be a bad Liverpool team to let Anthony score against you, Travis. What do you think? I mean, we've been bodying him all season as one of the worst ever Premier League signings we've ever seen, and he scores against Liverpool, high and mighty Liverpool. What do you think of that, Travis?
Has he really only scored 2 goals this season?
Yeah, literally.
And one of them's against a League 2 side.
He hasn't even assisted either.
Oh God, I know he was bad, obviously, but I thought he'd scored more than 2 goals. That is dreadful. I honestly think
he's got one more than Providel for Lazio in the Champions League as well. When you think about it like that.
Only one. That's tragic. I honestly think if you put Hamza in United's team, he'd probably have more goals than Anthony. I'm not even lying. That's really bad. Yeah, 2 goals.
It was a great finish from Anthony as well. And you're looking at thinking, like, I don't get how we're not going to beat Coventry. We have to beat Coventry to get into the final. But again, my man of the match for this game is going to go unsung. But I really think having Christian Eriksen come off the bench as well just calmed the game down so well for us, because we just kept losing possession, giving the ball away. And he's been out of the team for quite a while, Christian Eriksen, because of the emergence of Kobbie Mainoo, McTominay and Casemiro as well. And it's good to see him back, kind of creating chances that no one else really could on the pitch as well. So that was kind of my point. Seeing Christian Eriksen back was very, very cool from a Manchester United perspective as well. Joshua, who was your man of the match?
Garnacho for me.
Garnacho.
Because he was the constant threat. When it was 2-1 and we weren't playing well, you go to ball for him, he ruined Elliot. He ruined Elliot. He ruined, Tsimikas had to come on. He galvanized the team. He just
Bradley as well couldn't deal with it. Everyone's gassing up Conor Bradley for England.
Bringing Bradley in like another Trent Reeball, bro. Because he plays to Liverpool, everybody's got to rate them. Like, allow it, man. Come, this is theatre of dreams. Got to show up. And I think Garnacho for me. Everybody played. I was impressed with Maguire, and shout out to Bruno, because Bruno is another one who's
Bruno centre back, Anthony left back. How did Jurgen Klopp not beat that defense? Unreal. One of the best coaches of all time, apparently. Can't get past Anthony at left back and Bruno Fernandes centre back, with Dalot right back and Maguire the only centre back. Unreal what Eric Ten Hag has had to deal with this season as well.
Even Lindelof played well. Like, he had his Weetabix,
he was ready for it.
He was on it. Like, he could have
long
scored.
throw Lindelof. I'm loving that. I'm loving seeing.
Did you see Lindelof hit the side netting, by the way?
Yeah,
that was an absolute rocket. If that had gone in, that would have been mental. Yeah. I just want to shout something out, by the way. I've seen a lot of people talking about how poor Liverpool generally, but particularly Gakpo was today. Yeah. I've just seen this tweet. I think it'll cheer you both up as well. From when Liverpool signed Gakpo. It reads like so. Gakpo is as complete as they come. He strikes through the ball like Kane, dribbles like Mane, crosses like Rashford, in behind like Salah, links play as a number 9 like Martial, is a focus point in the number 9, which enables him to score tap-ins and headers. 37 million plus add-ons. Unreal. He strikes through the ball like Kane.
Which Kane? Kane from WWE. Forget about it.
Yeah, honestly, dreadful.
Cody Gakpo, man, what is this guy going on about? Like Darwin Núñez, I thought he actually had a good game, to be fair. He was proper fighting. He had some really good movement from the Liverpool perspective as well. And they never really found him as well, because he's been very good this season, Darwin Núñez, getting back into it as well. But again, Liverpool have to fight in the Premier League and in the Europa League as well to try and get some more farewell trophies for Jurgen Klopp, unless he starts fat shaming more journalists as well, which he shouldn't be doing as well. But moving on to Matthew, and Chelsea are in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. Sorry, you can tell Matthew that I've been fast and getting my competitions all mixed up. But Chelsea, they beat Leicester convincingly at home, and you're looking at that own goal by Disasi, disaster, Axel disaster. What a guy, absolutely crazy. But the one topic I want to talk to you guys about, all of you, is about Raheem Sterling. We'll talk about Cole Palmer. We'll talk about Chelsea getting into the semi-final, Poch again at Wembley. But Raheem Sterling, has he fully lost his mind, losing that amazing chance at home, missing the penalty as well, taking it off Cole Palmer as well? Is this the end of Raheem Sterling as a top-level player? Because I don't want to say so. I think he's still got a future for England. I still think he's going to be a big man for Chelsea going forward. But Matthew, I'm going to come to you for this one because we've had our topics of conversation about Raheem Sterling. Let me hear it, my friend.
You know what? It's quite sad. I hear what you're saying about England, but I feel like he's kind of done for England. I just don't see where he kind of comes in unless there's a manager that takes over Southgate that really has a thing, for Raheem Sterling. I watched today's performance. I know players can lose confidence and it happens, but that was like one of the worst I've said. I don't know about you guys, but one of the worst I've seen in a long, long time. Like, you can miss a penalty. I can't even.
Sorry, I don't get that penalty miss either as well. Like, it's normally just Cole Palmer. That's why it's so cold at literally just keeping penalties, and he always scores. I don't get it.
I just don't get, and it wasn't even like it was in a corner and you could forgive him. It literally, the goalkeeper dived, it hits his knee. And Travis, you're a keeper as well. The fact you've dived that hits your knee at that angle, that's a poor pen. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a bad penalty. Yeah, if the keeper can fall over and save it, it's it's not going well.
You know what I'm saying? It was awful. And then I look at the chance when he's through on goal 1-on-1. Sterling of Man City, all of us would have been like, oh, here we go. But this one, we were like, it's going wide. Scuff that one wide. But forget all of that. The worst one of all was the conversion. That
the Six Nations was yesterday, Raheem. Come on now. What is that?
The way he lined it, up, I thought, okay, when you're that close, I don't get why they do that long runner. Like, you got to give her a little.
And he bent backwards as well. I don't get it at all.
And honestly, and I saw it from a better angle because there's a video of someone sitting in the stand right at the other end. And you see him going up to it, and the ball, you're like, what are you doing? But yeah, his confidence is gone. It's sad because I do like him as a player.
I love him as a player and as a person as well. What he's done off the pitch is unbelievable.
I do want to see him do well. And I'll go back in the day. You remember that whole thing with the tattoo on his leg and bringing up all this rubbish. And I was like, no, prove I'm wrong, man. Come on. But it's not looking good for him. And he's not going to make the England Euro squad at all. I thought there's too many players playing better than him at the moment. Unless there's like a lot of injuries, I don't think he's getting in. But yeah, it's a sad one. And my concern is, where does he go from here? Like,
he got booed by his own fans. That's the worrying thing about Raheem Sterling at Chelsea. Chelsea fans were booing Raheem Sterling after that free kick. It's 2-2. He's taken a free kick, missed it. Like you said, conversion like it's the Six Nations. Missed the penalty as well. Took it off fan favorite Cole Palmer. Joshua, let me hear your thoughts on Raheem Sterling as well. He's definitely, for me, Southgate's not going to pick him back. I know he's a favorite, but he's not going to come back into that Euro squad. Where does he go from here at Chelsea? Could he be sold in the summer? What do you think, Joshua?
I think there's a chance. I think there really is a chance. Chelsea have their PSR, FFP problems. I missed the game today. I was in the Villa West Ham game, so I didn't see anything. I've seen the.
What was the Villa score, by the way? I don't even know.
It was 1-1.
Ooh, points for Sam.
Yeah, it was 1-1. Yeah, it was. Danilo got a goal in the 80th minute, and Antonio scored in the first half.
We don't like Mikel Antonio.
But for Sterling, I'm not going to ask you why. But for Sterling, I don't know.
BBC podcast, awful.
Yeah, no, you can't be digging people out. It's unfair. I mean, you keep quiet.
So unprofessional.
But with Raheem Sterling, I think it's one of the things that Southgate's probably done well in England setup outside his tournaments, because he dropped him in the first international break this year, and everybody was like, oh, and he has like, I had a conversation with him. It's all good. I'm just not where it was. And Raheem wasn't stinking the place like he's done now in March, in September. But it was kind of a bit of foresight, and I don't think Foden was the player he was today in September. So he could still would have been picked, and I would have been like, why Sterling oh, why have you picked Sterling sort of thing, or the same way it's like been Calvin Phillips or
Jared
with
Bowen.
Jordan Henderson. Yeah, no one, yeah. I think if you got in, it was fair. But Chelsea are in a obviously difficult place. They're 11th. They're frustrated. They're not where they want to be. And outside Cole Palmer, they're lacking quite quality. And he's got a lot of pressure on him because he's a quality footballer. I agree with Matt. Like it's frustrating because at his height, he's a wonderful player. You know, that Centurion side that he produced with Pep, him and Sane were just thrilling. He won a lot of titles. City won a lot of titles because what him and Sterling were doing, and especially what Sterling was doing. And the move just not come through. And because the owners came in the summer, Tuchel left, that it wasn't great with Potter. He's been in transition. It's kind of what we've seen at United, where you get a player like some, not like one matter, but they've got such good pedigree, but they're just caught in the madness of what's happening in the club, and he becomes an easier scapegoat because Raheem Sterling's been like that throughout his whole career. Liverpool, obviously doing that interview under Rodgers, going to City, all these sort of things. But when it's all said and done, he's had brilliant moments for club, wonderful moments for country. You know, other than winning something with England, he's had a fantastic England career compared to most.
Yes.
But Chelsea just in a bad period, you know, and they're just in a bad period. But I haven't seen anything, guys. I have to obviously take what you guys are saying in terms of conversions and penalty misses. It's not ideal, but he's just got to keep his head down. He's like Matt said, he's got the quality. I don't think he's done. He might be done at Chelsea, but playing wise, nah. Sterling's been kicking ball for a long time, from his QPR days to Liverpool. He said that really early, and you know,
Skill score and
probably
Soccer AM as well. Raheem Sterling once upon a
yeah,
time.
yeah, exactly. So I'm pretty for England he's finished because unfortunately because of the players in his position and the fact that he was dropped when he wasn't like stinking the place and players weren't performing. But for Chelsea, yeah, I don't know. Who knows if Potter's going to be there? Yeah, it's hard to judge players when you don't even know if the manager's doing it. Who's played both this season? Gusto and Palmer. Maybe the
Gusto,
goalkeeper Petrovic, and that's it. You know, Kowal's been okay. He's been his bright and best. But he's always going to be an scapegoat for obvious reasons. You know, just the way Chelsea are going this season, the way
I just wish he
Sterling.
was a GOAT. I wish Raheem Sterling was a GOAT England player, but he's going to go down as one of England's greatest ever wingers, in my opinion. But as well, not winning a trophy, but just having some of those bigger moments in the English shirt as well. The Euros, especially World Cup 2018, that big miss when he didn't pass it back to Harry Kane. No, Kane didn't pass it to Raheem Sterling, sorry, as well. These are big times for Raheem Sterling in his England career as well. National hero at times, but I think it's time when England have to move on to find new national heroes as well. Kobe
But
Mainoo.
great days, you know, like great days, like Wembley beating Germany, getting
Mm.
that goal. You know, that he'll look back. He's won Premier League titles. He's not like he's a Steven Gerrard who's won nothing for Liverpool. He'll never won Premier League titles, swear. But it's true. He'll sit back and be like, "Look, he'll be happy." But it's sad what's happening now, and I do hope he kicks some form in. And if he does go, who knows? Maybe he fancies a move abroad. Who knows where he can go? If he can go to like a Barca or Atletico or somewhere in Italy, wishful thinking, but he's still got something
Saudi.
to give. Yeah, nah, hopefully not.
I'd love
I
to see
hope
him in
not.
Saudi Arabia. Travis, talk to me about Cole Palmer because Cole Palmer is looking different gravy, as you say to us all the time as well. That's the saying that I like hearing from Travis all the time. Different gravy. And again, you're looking at two young players for England, one selected in the squad, one isn't with Kobe Mainoo as well. But Cole Palmer, we have to look through some of that. 25 goals and assists in March in his first full season as a professional footballer. You have to give him flowers in this underperforming Chelsea side as well. He's in the semi-finals playing against his former employers, Manchester City, at Wembley. This will be a very, very big tie. Again, the narrative will be all around Cole Palmer as well. But what's your thoughts on him this season? One of the best players to watch in the Premier League so far?
I've got to say he's surprised me massively. Watched him a few times at City last season, and I thought he was good. And then when he made this move to Chelsea, I thought too much money, too early, too soon. And I thought that he'd made the mistake that Foden didn't make of leaving City early to go and get more game time. And it's worked out well for Foden. You know, who knows how it would have worked for Palmer if he'd have stayed. But he's really, proved me and a lot of people wrong because if I'm honest, I thought he was going to flop. I thought it was a big money move too early. And I thought he was just not ready for it. But yeah, he's proved me wrong entirely. What a player.
Yeah, you're looking at Cole Palmer. There's the best individual goals and assists season since Eden Hazard in 2018-19. Matthew is already looking like a legend in Chelsea colours as well. And it's just, again, not just with the penalties, but the fact that he oozes class, composure, and aggression at the same time. When you're looking at Cole Palmer, you're like, why wouldn't we want to see him starting in an English shirt? And can you see a place in the starting lineup for England where you think he can actually start and deserves a starting lineup? Because I can't see it at the moment. What do you think, Matthew?
Nah, I feel like no matter how good he's been, I don't think he breaks into that England starting 11 yet. I
Yet.
do think he's a great option to have in that squad. I feel like if he finishes the season as he's been going on, he's definitely getting to the squad. And there's not, there's not many better than him at what he does. Depends what Southgate wants to do with the tactics and the formation, or whatever.
He'll play a left back. Southgate will play Palmer left back. Odd guy.
But you know what? Like Travis said, I want to say as well. When the signing was made, I laughed. I'm not gonna lie. I openly admit, I was like, what's this? What are they doing getting Cole Palmer? And then he's gone in, and I don't know about you, but I didn't see any special attributes in him. I was like, yeah, he might score a couple of goals, a couple of assists, but he seems to, in games where they're not doing well, he's making the difference. Whether that's an assist, whether that's the pass before they get through to the pre-assist as they call it. But to get them goals and assists at this point in the season is fantastic. Look at today, the third goal, when the little nice back heel, he's adding that touch of quality to Chelsea. And, God knows where Chelsea would be without him. You know what I mean? So,
in the Championship, I believe.
you know what I mean?
Back with Lampard as interim manager as well.
You know what I mean? I'd love to see him play in, and he's one of them players. I was talking to a Chelsea fan today where if he doesn't see improvement, you can see big clubs going to snap him up. Like 100%. They'll be like, you know what? I know he's in that death row contract, I know, but they'll find a way of
He's being stuck there. It's like Elvis Presley in Las Vegas. He's not going anywhere at all. Shug is loving that reference.
He's quality. He's quality. He has all that little attributes, but he's definitely going to go to England's squad. But no, not the starting 11. You look at England's starting 11, you're probably going to have a Foden, Saka, Rash. I don't know. We're going to get into that because we'll do a show on Euros, I guess, later down the line. But
are we doing one this week, Matthew?
I am. And you guys are in it. Yeah,
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this.
So you guys are in it. But yeah, I don't think he'll get in it, but he'll be in the squad 100%.
Nah, that's good to see as well. Final word on Chelsea. Going to go to Joshua for this one. Then we'll move on to Manchester City. Joshua, you're looking at Chelsea Football Club. You're looking at Mauricio Pochettino, who's in 11th place as well. I kind of need to know from you, if Pochettino wins this FA Cup, if he wins against Manchester City and he wins against Manchester United or Coventry, would that still be a successful season for Chelsea, or still no because they're mid-table with all the money they've spent? What do you think, Joshua?
So no, it's been a strange season. I've been to Chelsea 3 times this season. I'm going there next with Chelsea Burnley, and the atmosphere is weird. Even when they score, there's not. It's like I was there when they beat Brighton 3-2. No, you go to all these football grounds, you watch football. There's enthusiasm. There's there's some sort of like, I don't know because he's a former Spurs manager, but there's been a match change during obviously ownership from Roman to the Bowley Barley consortium, and change. It's been 2 years now.
They're still not accepting him, do you think?
No, I don't think they're not accepting him. I think FA Cup win over, let's say, Manchester City and Manchester United, if we get through, and obviously they'll beat City to get there, that would be fantastic. But a lot of Chelsea fans online, they're looking at finishing Europa League, Europa Conference. I think they can't. They finish Europa Conference, they'll fail something in UEFA, so they have to kick out that tournament. They don't actually want to be in that tournament, some sort of FFP malarkey. But if they were to get Europa League potentially, but they've got good young players. They have, there have been some breakthrough. Black Palm has been a good signing, been a successful signing for Bowley. And obviously Gusto's been all right. But at the same time, the experienced players hasn't really rubbed well with Pochettino. Thiago Silva, Reece James is just injury prone, so is Chilwell. I don't know. They're in the club in real limbo. They really are. And they're proof that you just can't get a new manager. You can't just throw money and be like, oh yeah, we're going to be, go eight. Even though I was mocking him in the group chat yesterday, you look at Ange Postecoglou, he's come in now and he's got to tune up those players, and then boom, they're up there. And I was kind of expecting that Pochettino. You got to look at it today where these guys are playing 1 game a week. There's no Europe. Chelsea have played. They played all the possible games they could play because of the League Cup final they got to. I think it's 51 or 52, if I'm correct, including the league games. It's not a lot of games. I think how many have Liverpool played? Liverpool played 50 plus, or City. So whatever happens, an FA Cup's good for Chelsea because they would have lost. They would have not have lost 4 straight finals in the FA Cup, and they would have lost the last 5 times at Wembley in the final. So that would be positive. But overall, they're a club in mass limbo. They're a club in mass limbo. I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. More charges coming their way as well, which will be fun over the summer as well, which will be great. Fun indeed. A club that has many, many charges, 115 charges, Manchester City, and they were very convincing yesterday against Newcastle United in the evening FA Cup. game that they had as well. Travis, I'm coming to you for this one as well because Pep Guardiola, he knows what it's like to be a killer as a manager in the dugout as well. Gave Newcastle no sympathy. He gave no quarter, and he really showed what it's like to be a top-level manager in cup competitions as well. He had a Champions League game a couple of weeks ago against Copenhagen where he already won, and he continued to put his foot on the neck of the opposing manager, Jesper Lindstrom, as well. And he did it yesterday against Eddie Howe as well. Man City are Man City looking like the favourites for the FA Cup for you, Travis?
I would say so. They're sort of like the final boss of English football at the minute, aren't they? They're like the Roman Reigns, and everyone else is the Cody Rhodes trying to finish the story, and it's just
Eric Ten Hag wants to
happen.
finish his story. He wants to finish his story against Man City at Wembley. It needs to be done for him. He'll get blonde hair as well for it as well.
I think whatever competition they're in, they're the favourites. I still think they'll win the league. I've not been 100% convinced on that. Matt's face.
Go on, Matt. Retort to that.
Nah, you know what? It is what it is. He's right. He's right. City are the final boss. I'm being honest. I love my team, but yeah, you're right, Travis. You are right.
I just think I've not been massively impressed with them this season. I don't think they've hit full stride, but they're still a point, 2 points, something like that. 1 point behind top of the league, and they've not been at their best. So they're the kind of team that, look, we've got 10 games left now. They could just go like that and win the next 10 games, conceding, very few goals and make it a foregone conclusion. But yeah, I think FA Cup wise, they're definitely the favourite. I think obviously Coventry have done very well to get this far. I don't think they're going to go any further realistically. I think Chelsea are shambles, like Joshua was saying. They seem to have managed to stumble into a cup final and a cup semi-final this season. Just quickly, by the way, on that, I would love it, absolutely love it, if Chelsea get to the final and lose. Oh, just twice in the same season for Poch to lose a final with another club. I'm praying for it. I'll have the candles and the satanic circles and everything, just praying for Chelsea to make that final and to lose. And
if that means way for praying, Travis, go the right way. Go the wrong.
If that means you guys winning the cup, I'll take it. But yeah, just watching them lose another final with Pochettino, who obviously lost so many, quarters and semis and finals with us, just would be cinema. But yeah, I think City, for me, they're going to win the FA Cup, and I wouldn't be hugely surprised if they win another treble this season, to be fair.
No, that's fair enough as well. That draw against Real Madrid is going to be box office, like we discussed earlier this week as well. Matthew, a word on Newcastle before we move on to the surprise game in the tournament. Not the best game, but the surprise game. Wolves Coventry. We'll get to Joshua on that one. But a thought on Newcastle. You said it. I've said it. I think the guys will agree. They've underachieved this season, right? Knocked out in the group stages of the Champions League, knocked out early in the Carabao Cup, knocked out in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup as well. All the money they spent, the players that they got in, the drama they had since last season of, oh yeah, we beat Man United at home. Oh yeah, we got to the Carabao Cup final. Should more ownership be put on Eddie Howe and Newcastle United after, again, an unsuccessful season? Because Newcastle, they're not fighting for top four at this moment in time. They are, again, mid-table, close to Chelsea. Everyone wants to blame their injuries, and fair enough, they have had injuries, but who hasn't had injuries when we're looking at it from that perspective, Matthew? A word on Newcastle, if you may.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do think they've underachieved. It's quite weird because I was randomly looking at the league table the other week, and you just randomly looking at it. I said, "What? Where in Newcastle?"
Did you have to accept your cookies to go down and see Newcastle United?
Yeah, no, but it's just mad, and it is Eddie Howe as well. I do think football's all about small margins as well. And let's remember, in that Champions League group, they had Dortmund at home, and there was that PSG game where they conceded a penalty last minute, which shouldn't have been given a penalty. So in terms of Europe, things could have been a bit different had them little things have changed. However, with the injuries they've had as well, he has been a bit stubborn. The whole persistent with Dan Burn at left back has cost him in a few games.
It's like Southgate and Henderson. It's just one of those natural feelings
that he got ripped by someone. Luton ripped him up, and then it was Elanga when Nottingham Forest went there, and it's the persistence with that. And I feel like Newcastle, they've just been found out as well. Last season it was an unknown thing. They had a solid back four, Bruno in midfield, Jolinton, Willock I think was fit as well, and they're up top. If Wilson's not injured, Isaac's injured. You know what I mean? They're really both fit at the same time, and one of them's
chatting nonsense on BBC podcast as well. So
that as well. But yeah,
Joshua loves that podcast, by the way, the Antony and Wilson podcast, don't you, Joshua?
I haven't listened to it once.
but no, and then obviously Pope got injured as well. But it's been a bad season. Do you know what? It's going to be interesting what they do in the summer because I don't think they can still spend big yet because there's still this thing where
they've got to sell. They've got to sell a big player.
Ramirez may be going or Isaac may be going.
Exactly.
Yeah, have to. Yeah.
One of them, and then I don't know with the Newcastle board. I think it's Stavely and the rest of them, PIF. It's like, are they going to look and be like, do you know what? Let's change.
Matt knows finance.
You know what I mean? So let's. You know what I mean? So they'll be like, shall we change him? But the problem is, if they go and change, who do they bring in? I personally think if they do make the change, they're going to go for Nagelsmann. That's my opinion.
Mourinho.
Yeah, I think some of the maybe Mourinho, but I think Mourinho's time's done now in English.
Give him another.
It's finished, man. We already done that. Leave him to be like start that.
There's got a Netflix documentary coming out soon as well.
Yeah, he's doing that prop.
No, but it's been a bad season for them. Bad, and no matter what, they're probably not going to make Europe at all, are they? I don't think
they're 10th at the moment.
Yeah, no, exactly. Bad season. Only shining light for them, I would say, Livramento and Livramento, Miley, and Anthony Gordon, who again, like Palmer, has really surprised me and could be someone that could make the Euro squad.
Made the squad for England this time around, didn't he, Anthony Gordon?
Exactly. He could make the final squad in Euros. I think his quality, Anthony Gordon. He reminds me of when I see him play. I see Garnacho. I see that type of same play, how they play. Just go at the defenders till the end, And if you say, "Listen, I need you right wing back," they go and do the job for you. And them type of players are so important to your squads.
Oh boy, I'm looking forward to this England session on Matthew's channel later this week as well. It's going to be fun. Where we're putting Anthony Gordon starting 11, benching, selling, not on the plane to Germany. This is going to be fun. I'm ready for this one as well.
Our guy Jared, man. Yeah.
Jared Brandthwaite is going to be done. I've got to sign him on career mode. Nah, it's going to be good with Jared Brandthwaite as well. But the surprise of the weekend in the FA Cup, Wolves against Coventry. Wolves had it in their grasp, 2-1 up, and then conceding 2 goals at the end of injury time, in normal time, 90+7 and 90+10 minutes at Molineux. Crazy times to see Ellis Sims, who was an Everton loanee, I believe, as well, and again scored 2 goals, 1 assist to right, and it's unbelievable seeing what we saw yesterday. One of the greatest FA Cup quarterfinals. 2 of the greatest FA Cup quarterfinals have happened this weekend, in my opinion, as well. Joshua, first thoughts, Coventry, FA Cup semi-finalists. Is this the biggest surprise you've seen this season?
No. Ooh. I fancy them. I'll be honest. That's just due to working in the EFL. That's the only reason. And because Wolves have had injuries, and traditionally over the last couple of years, Wolves have struggled to score goals since Raheem Jimenez's injury, and Neto and Cunha out. If you're not scoring early, Coventry in the Championship are known to being quite expansive, being more of a team and looking to get loads of goals.
Playoff finalists last season as well.
Yes. Yeah, it's flip a coin. Luton really should have gone automatic the year before, and Coventry really could have, themselves could have been automatic. And they've got guts. Coventry, they've got guts. They can lose to a lot of teams in the Championship, and then they can go on long runs. But Hadji Wright, it's a quality player. Sims was on loan from Sunderland. Was on loan from Everton, Sunderland last year. Then he started in Coventry, and he had a few opportunities in the game. And
he had that big chance in the first half. Yeah.
So obviously, Premier League team, you expect them to win. I'm not saying, I expected that. It was a shock, especially the way they did it.
Yeah.
But that's not the team you want when you've got injuries and you're missing your attacking outlet. And Wolves' Premier League quality shown. They've been 2-1 up. Nordy's having a fine season.
Another player who was fasting and he scored as well. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy when you're looking at it. I'm beating that drum as long as I possibly can as well. When players are Salah scored today as well, but again, Mohamed Salah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Missed the target. You're lucky at the post. Anyways. But no, I think in terms of that, I was disappointed for Gary Neal, but I just think that was if for Coventry, yes, on paper, you probably would have Wolves over Leicester, because Leicester and Coventry, there's a big rivalry there. But Leicester are flying in the Championship, in Championship derby. But playing Wolves at that time, the only difficulty for them is obviously it was away, it wasn't at their place. But yes, it's good for Mark Robbins. They're 3 points off the playoffs, I'm correct, just behind Hull with a game in hand. That's really tight. Hull, Norwich. I think Norwich is there now. They're all going for the last place. It's going to be difficult to the team who finishes 6th to go up, because one of Southampton, Leeds, Leicester aren't going to go up, and Ipswich are really good. So yeah, good result for Mark Roberts, good result for them. And FA Cup special, man. We need it. We need it live on TV with all this sort of behind paywalls and all this type of stuff. It's BS, man. We need that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Honestly,
this weekend
it's just
showed
awful.
that.
It's just
You
awful how people are just going, oh yeah, it's just another competition where it's going to be succumbed by the football media companies as well, and it's really embarrassing to see how the everyday man won't be able to watch as much FA Cup football come from next season as well, which is really, really insulting to see because it's like when you watch the Euros or the World Cup, that's always going to be free on TV, but the FA Cup should also be free on TV as well, and it's not going to be the case, which is really, really annoying. Travis, I'm going to come to you for Gary O'Neill and for Wolves, who's the pretty decent season. He's had his injuries as well. Like again, Lamina starting left wing wasn't ideal for Gary O'Neill, but he's had a lot of good fortune this season, I would say. But with Wolverhampton Wanderers losing to Coventry, do you expect better from them from your perspective, Travis?
Yes, but I think we've got to keep it in a perspective of how much did we expect from Wolves this season? I mean, if you'd have told me at the start of the season that by March Wolves would be ninth in the league and in an FA Cup quarter-final, I'd have said, fair enough. That's an absolutely unreal performance. I think at the start of the season, I don't know how anybody else felt, but I, for one, I thought Wolves were going to go down. I've got to be honest. I thought when Lopetegui left, I thought he was the only reason they stayed up last season. Was just his brilliance. And I thought when he left, I was like, yeah, this is game over for them. There's too many good teams in the league this season, and they're going to be a casualty of that. But and hear me out here. Gary O'Neill, I think his story at Wolves is very similar to Ange at Tottenham. And hear me out in that the previous manager before him probably thought he was too good to be there. Conte at Spurs, Lopetegui at Wolves. I think everyone can agree that that's probably true for both managers.
Yes.
That previous manager leaving meant both teams were going into this season with expectations through the floor. You know, I was thinking Wolves were going to get relegated. I think a lot of people were. A lot of people were putting Tottenham in the predictions to finish in the bottom half this season.
Matt said Champions League for Spurs, so I'm not sure why.
Did you?
Maybe because he's a Spurs fan as well. So
yeah, deep down.
Matt thought we forgot about that. That's never going away, my friend.
Hey, he might be right. To be fair, there's still time. He might be right.
Matt knows football. That's why.
Yeah, but yeah, Wolves. I think we've got to remember where they were at the start of the season. We've got to not allow how good they've been this season to kind of make us forget where they were. And I think,
not make them their own worst enemy. I get what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Well. He's sort of in a way is sort of suffering from his own success there because he'll get pelters for being knocked out to a championship side, but really, should they be in the quarterfinal anyway? Probably not. You know, are you saying they're one of the eight best teams in the competition this season? Absolutely not. Are they? You know, would you say at the start of the season they're going to be one of the 9 best teams in the Premier League? Absolutely not. So I think we've got to give Gary O'Neill his flowers, man. I did not expect this from Wolves this season.
Nah, that's good analogy there as well. Because again, hindsight's a wonderful thing when you're looking back at it, but you don't want to be a victim of recency bias as well. Because obviously you just like, oh yeah, they got knocked out to Coventry, but they've done a lot to get their club back into the top half of the table, and
they've beaten us twice as well this season. So
that Sarabia goal was crazy, and they could have got a draw against us twice, but they didn't. One was because Andre Onana decided WWE was his sport in the first game of his Premier League career, and then the second one was because Kobbie Mainoo, not Jordan Henderson, scored a last-minute winner at Molineux and silenced the Black Country crowd as well. That's not a racial joke. They are called the Black Country crowd in Wolverhampton Wanderers. That is not racist as well. But yeah, just to end our stream, I want to say, everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been great to have a conversation with the boys once again. I want to thank everyone who's been watching our live stream as well. It's been fantastic to continue doing these live streams during Ramadan, which will be good fun. I'm going to leave the outro to Matthew for this one as well, because Matthew has said that we are going to be on his channel this week. And I want Matthew to explain exactly to the audience when, where, what, and why we are going to be participating in. So the floor is yours, Matthew.
So my people, yes, so this week we're going to do this international break. So we're going to do a show. It's going to be we might do a tier list. You know what I mean?
Do you like international football, Matthew?
Sorry?
You like international football?
You know what? Ever since you said what you said about watch different teams, I won't lie, I've started to enjoy it a bit more. Because I watch teams that, instead of watching the Frances, I watch other games. I'm like, right, that game's quite decent, you know. But it's hard to even watch that type of football anyway, unless you go online and all these other things. But
Be a play.
But I've got I've got Sky Sports. None of that dodgy stuff people do nowadays. You know, the legit stuff. But yeah, no. Listen, I'm gonna have the guys on my show. We're gonna do an England. I want to do an England squad. I like this squad. So right now, based on performances, who would put in, and then we're gonna do a tier list just to put my guy Jared Brantthwaite in. You know, Hamza knows how much I love Jared.
And Jay does as well.
That's the plan. Jay. And it will be midweek, so either Tuesday or Wednesday. And listen, you guys can put in the comments who you guys think got it wrong. Hamza knows ball, so we're expecting a perfect squad. And yeah, listen, I just want you guys to tune in and enjoy that one. But it's going to be great having you guys on, because Hamza believes that I don't like having you guys on my podcast. It's not about that. I'm all about diversity. But yes, we'll look. But yes, guys, that will be the show this week. I'm hoping to do 1 or 2 actually, because the international this break's quite long, so I want to do a couple of shows if I can, man. But yeah, tune in.
No, that's good. That's good. You keep yourself busy during international week, and I forgot I said that comment, so I do apologize. I said it before you brought us on, but now you bring us on twice. I'm gonna have to retract that statement if you bring us on this week, which would be good fun indeed. But again, nicely done there, Matthew. Joshua, thank you very much for your time as always, and again, thanks for your time, Travis, this week as well. It's been absolutely fantastic. And Travis, I think when we see each other on Wednesday, you're gonna make a couple penalties better than Raheem Sterling did against Leicester City. So I'm looking forward to it once again as well. Everyone, thank you very much.